And we're back. Game number 2, potentially the final game of the evening in the battle of the LGDs International taking on China. Quite a long game in game 1. And, it drug out, and Black really had a bad start on the Luna and never really recovered. It was just one of those games where both teams just kind of darted, went back and forth. No team could get a definitive edge until you just saw the late game gyro potential come to its fullest flavor. And that's, of course, one of the knocks on the hero is he's really strong early. Then he does kind of tend to valley out a little bit. He has to really climb back out of that mid-game valley just by getting an entire inventory full of items. But if you let that happen, he just kind of shows up and is invincible and immortal, and he kills everyone within 1,000 range with flak cannon, and that's exactly what we saw there at the end. But very nice play out of Zhao 8 in particular. Really, DD stood out as well on the Earthshaker, just good all around. And LGD also an honorable mention to Brax for, to quote my good friend, of course, my producer, Conrad, the rattiest of rat Dota. And my heart goes out to the pub players, man. It really does. Misery on Rubik last game. I had a phenomenal game, but in the end, just not enough to keep things together. LGD going to lead things off with the second first pick bounty hunter we've seen in the Eastern Division, followed by a Venomancer. And LGD follows it up with Crystal Maiden and a throwback, an early pick Darkseer. Not seeing that nearly as much as we used to. To break that down and everything else involving analysis and strategy, once again, welcome in Ben Merlini Wu. And tell you what, Ben, that last game was fun, but it didn't have a lot of character. I hate to put it that way. Just didn't have a lot of flavor to me. It was just a lot of back and forth, a lot of mistakes being made. Black died a lot. And LGD, of course, happy to have that happen again if it gives them the same result. LGD International, though, certainly going to want to have Black in a better position after the early game.
Yeah, I think a lot is an understatement there. He died so many times that game, and it all started with the early game, and they did have a very, very strong triple lane, but yeah, that does not warrant that many deaths, especially when there are two heroes there babysitting you. I think this has been very, very smart from LGD. They cannot afford to lose their triple lane again. That was just extremely devastating for them, and I don't necessarily think like Black played that poorly though.
Right.
Like, it's not like he was just like wildly out of position. He was like farming relatively like close to his T2, like when he got picked off with an Invis rune and they had the blink on Shaker. You can't always prepare for some of those, and you have BKB, so you feel a little bit safe too. And like on top lane, I wasn't watching the first split like as soon as it happened, but it was like, I mean, he wasn't like grossly out of position. It's not like his supports were like both smoke ganking off somewhere and he just like goes up for last hits. I don't know. It was just I don't think Black played poorly, but they have to protect them better.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing about Black is a guy who will take risks, and we talked about this briefly in the middle of the game last time, and he was a little out of position at times, but at the same time, playing with the composition he had and playing from behind, he kind of has to be. You have to be willing to take those risks. So in cases like that, you look at Black and you say, well, maybe a little out of position, but nothing like unforgivable. But more than anything, it was just LGD Gaming executing their composition. I mean, when you have that many players that are all firing on the same cylinders and all executing at that high of a level, sometimes it doesn't matter if it's just a little mistake. Little mistakes taken in tandem and put together all become one big mistake. And in the end, I guess that big mistake is Rabbit bought everything in the game and was able to just 1v5 by the time all was said and done. But as we've been jawing about game 1, game 2 is laid out in front of us. Weaver going to join Alchemist with the as the fourth pick to follow the third for LGD Gaming. Earthshaker this time going to be handled by International. And, Earthshaker Crystal Maiden are quickly becoming, arguably, at least in the D2L, the most popular and most commonly picked support tandem that we see. They're just both so good at roaming. And they just allow you to apply pressure in so many different ways, and they both excel at early team fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Earthshaker was played very, very well by DD last game. I mean, I've seen good Earthshaker play, but his was just extremely good. And even with that buyback, he got his arcanes really fast. He also got his blink like very fast too, like about the same time that Black got his BKB, and that usually does not happen. So Earthshaker, we've seen like get far behind and just like extremely useless, and we've seen the other end of the spectrum where he gets a lot of kills, dominates his triple lane, gets early farm, and just crushes with clutch echoes too. So I think that denying LGD that pick is pretty important. Again, we see this very high placement on Venomancer. I think that LGD China utilizes it better than LGD.int, but I still don't think it warrants that high of a pick.
Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at what LGD is going to be up to, I mean, obviously with the first pick Bounty Hunter, that's a pick they could almost certainly hold off on until 4th or 5th position at the very least. So I think they're more interested in the composition than they are worried about being counterpicked, because really it looks like their composition is, we're going to fight you. We're going to get our bounty hunter to 6. We're going to build our alchemist like 6.78 all over again. Get him a Shadow Blade, some Phase, a BKB, Weaver, of course. We're just going to let him do what Weaver does, which is contribute a fair amount of magic damage early, then let him build out to perhaps a Desolator after a Lincoln's. We're just going to fight you, rely on track gold, and we don't care what you draft. And tell you what they have drafted, though, is a hell of a lot of team fight. Darkseer, Crystal Maiden, Earthshaker, that's a lot of early team fight that really scales fairly well on into the late game. And the Windrunner pickup just gives them a lot of flexibility. Nature's Prophet's still available for Brax if he wants to make, more people angry.
But no BKB counters. That is a really big problem, especially since LGD, they love their 5-man, they love their BKBs. So, like, what are they going to do? LGD, they have track, they can kite them down. They have the right click from Alchemist, the right click from Weaver, and Alchemist can get an Abyssal too if he has as much farm as Rabbit did last game. And they have Black Hole. So I think that LGD, like, even if they win the early game, LGD can come back by getting BKB. So they have to account for that somehow. They're going to pick a carry last. Gyrocopter is the safe and standard pick. What other ones can we see? We see in Luna, but I don't think LGD cares about Luna. They didn't even ban it out. They don't care. Anti-Mage is really annoying, though, because they don't really have that much lockdown besides Alchemist, Stun, and Enigma ulti, and those aren't really, those are pretty difficult to land on. Okay, there it is, the Medusa. So there's your BKB counter right there. Counters BKB and does physical damage with one hero. So we saw previous success with Medusa. Can they do it again? TBD. It's to be determined.
That is a tough lineup to pick a Medusa into. I mean, you got to give him credit for guts, man. I mean, Anti-Mage would have made a lot more sense to me just because Anti-Mage is Black's hero. I mean, when you watch a Black Anti-Mage, it's not like anything you've ever seen. I mean, Burning is obviously the living legend on that hero. But in my mind, if you want to watch it more, if you want to watch someone playing Anti-Mage just about as close to perfection as possible within the modern context, I really do feel like Black's is better than Burning's. Not necessarily Burning's at his height, but when you compare them where they are now today,
last time we saw was AM,
10 seconds remaining.
Do you remember that big throw?
Oh, yeah.
They had like 12,000 gold leads, so I don't think that statement is true, personally.
Well, no, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about just playing the hero as the hero. If I'm not mistaken, that was... What was it? How did they throw that? Like, they just, like, he had like a 8,000 gold lead at like 25, 30 minutes.
12,000.
Yeah, something like that. Then they just strung the game out for an hour. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, but, and he had the butterfly, and then they did Roshan, and the game just completely turned around from there. That was like an almost unthrowable game, but I've said that before, and I've seen some quote-unquote unthrowable games be almost thrown, or be just straight up thrown.
Well,
look at Roshan. He looks cool when he just spawns.
What up, Roche? Zoom in. He does kind of look cool. Looks like... What does that remind me of? It reminds me... For some reason, it makes me think Doctor Who. Can't even tell you why. I'm too tired to think. But, at any rate, no Anti-Mage this time around. And the Medusa, though, I mean, when you're up against a lineup that is built to put pressure on, I mean, just think how dive-happy and how push-happy this entire lineup is from LGD, how quickly they're going to be able to start to 5-man. And not just like 5-man as in, okay, we picked a lineup that has some capability. Like, this is a lineup built to 5-man. Veno at 6 is going to be lethal. Alchemist at 6, going to be tanky. Enigma at 6, of course, he's going to hit a quick 6 because he's Enigma and he's going to the jungle, so he's going to have the items he needs. That's going to mean a quick mech, among other things. And then the Weaver, the fact that he can do a lot early on, even if he is underfarmed. And, of course, the Bounty Hunter, if you do manage to start stringing together kills, all of a sudden you start to snowball that much quicker. This is just going to be a major, major bullet to dodge for LGD International. And Black, I mean, if you thought he contributed little early on Luna, and again, not trying to knock him as a player, he's a good friend of mine, just had a he struggled a lot last game. But if you think he had trouble contributing early on Luna, imagine how it's going to be on Medusa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a friend of Black too, and I will knock on him. That was just... I'm just kidding. Anyways, we actually see some strange play from LGD. They're actually going with a Rabbit solo mid Weaver, and it's typically Xiao 8, but as we saw the other day, Xiao 8 was on Venomancer, and he was actually in the side lane. So they are being less predictable, which is good. LGD, one of the most predictable teams, I'd say, at least like a month ago. You knew exactly how they were going to play, who was going to play who, and who was going to go where. And even with that, they were still able to dominate, I'd say. So now that they have some element of flexibility, Xiao 8, I mean, Alchemist is pretty standard, but we just saw last game. And just being able to throw him a curveball is pretty good. So I think Xiao 8, they just farm up like an early Shadow Blade, put a lot of pressure on Black, and that is their game plan. But they don't want to do it in the triple lane, and We saw a triple lane versus Medusa, and it just didn't work out. I mean, Medusa's like annoying. He's somewhat difficult to kill too, since he's like a really high priority target. And if you kill the supports, it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
So I think they're just going to take it a different route. Just get a hero that ramps up way faster than Medusa, and then just hit him while Medusa's still weak.
As the lanes take shape, we'll run through our lineup, see who's handling who. It's going to be Freedom playing on the Shaker this time with Windrunner. Yeah, that's what we meant to say. Windrunner played by Pycat this time around. And let's see. Here in mid. Okay, I thought you were trying to indicate there was action going on somewhere. The Crystal Main will be played by Misery. The Darkseer handled in mid by Brax. And we've seen Brax on Darkseer in mid before. He's actually quite dominant here. Darkseer, one of the better mids in terms of just pushing down towers early on. And, of course, Black on the Deuce. The second time I got to, I hadn't casted this hero before tonight, and now I get to cast it twice in one night. He'll be going up against Yao on the Bounty Hunter on the other side for LGD China. The Alchemist will be handled and farmed by Zhao8 coming out of the safe lane. Enigma, of course, in the jungle, played by DD. And, again, one of the nice things about Enigma in the jungle is if they do want a 5-man very quickly, not only they're going to be able to do it with a quick black hole, they'll be able to do it most likely with a very quick mechanism.
He has decent micro too. I see way too many of them just let their things die. He actually split them up 2 and 4 so they don't get Centaur Stomp too. So DD actually doing a good job there.
Doing the work. Then DDC on our Venomancer, and of course the Midweaver. And you and I talked briefly about Midweaver. You don't see him here all that often, or at least you didn't back in 6.78, but starting to see it happen a bit more in 6.79.
He has decent rune control. He also has like amazing harass, and he's really, really good with runes too. Brax trying to put some pressure on him. Brax has like gotten kills in just like a variety of matchups in middle. So I think that putting a hero that is very, very unlikely to die, like Rabbit, is a good choice by them.
Soul Ring done, and wow, Bounty Hunter actually managed to get a kill. It looks like we both missed that one. Bounty, other way around. They killed the Bounty with a sentry in lane, so well played by LGD. You just don't expect to see a Bounty die like that.
I guess he looked like he was trying to get a kill on Black and just not being aware of where Misery was at the time. And they have a ward on top, so they know that Misery's not up there. I guess he thought he was pulling at the time, but that's just one screen away.
Yep. Pycat taking a bit of damage from the acid spray. Taking a look at the early CS, we can see Weave and Brax both doing quite well here in mid, 17 and 17 apiece. Black is finding his farm early on, sitting at 16 now. And, yeah, we can see that Yao has made his way back to lane, playing a little bit too brave and ended up feeding first blood. And right now, I mean, the early laning phase as it stands, Merlini, status quo, who you give the lead to?
Well, definitely LGD, and after getting that early kill, and if they're ahead in the early mid game with Dusa, then they should win the late theoretically, barring like huge plays from Enigma. But like as it stands right now, they're doing very well. Black is having a much better start than last game. That's an understatement. And looks like Brax is doing pretty well in mid too, and top lane Windrunner's getting decent amounts of farm. But the X factor is this Enigma. Like once he hits level 6, once he gets his mech up, like things are just going to completely change around. And can LGD actually handle that sort of pressure? That's the big question for me. And yeah, sure, they're gonna be able to trade farm here and there, but how can they handle this pressure? Are they going to be able to defend the push? Are they going to be able to split push enough to keep them away? Are they going to be able to farm a mech of their own that fast? I think the last question is yes. All the other questions I don't really know.
Black continuing to just soak up tons of free farm. He is near the top. In fact, Brax, though, starting to duck into the jungle, is actually getting ahead. So if nothing else, LGD International will be able to rely on, one would imagine, a fairly quick mech for themselves so long as Brax continues to keep his gold game pretty high. He's got 1,200 gold in the bank. We'll see how quickly he does want to rush it. DD with his soul ring up, most likely heading in that same direction as well, perhaps after Brown Boots. And we're going to see Yao spotting out Misery and vice versa. Arc Boots picked up by Pycat, and I mean that's the option that LGD does have, is they can have Pycat build it too, since he does have some fairly decent farm. This comes down to how much they want to prioritize it.
They just need Force Staff. Force Staff is really good versus Unstable Concoction Lockdown too. They have a Fissure for Counter Initiate too. Freedom, doing okay, level 3 right now, sitting just claritying and protecting Pycat, which is exactly what he should be doing. Pycat going with that early boots too. He has early mech, and that's really good at anti-push too. I think it's a smart pickup by him. He doesn't need the mech. Brax is having easy time in mid. He should be able to communicate with his teammate, say, hey, I got good farm in mid. You can go something else besides mech. Misery though, in a little bit of trouble, but
Yep. Janata not going to do the shuriken toss, just a little bit of free harass that time around. And we are seeing some more aggression poured out. Fissure plus a power shot from Pycat. excuse me, as well as Freedom. And just trying to harass him out. We can see Zhao 8 still short of 6, unable to pop his ulti.
Oh, can they kill this chicken? It's running right towards. Oh man, that was close.
Ooh, Plague Ward actually took a pot shot at it by the time it passed through. A little bit of poor micro there.
What they see, this is a really good ward right here. He managed to scout him out right when he was right here, and looks like they will be able to back off in mid and send Freedom there. So he's there from the uphill. Oh wait, DD though is going to spot him out.
Yep.
And they know something's up in middle. Brax.
Yao taking a bit of a
fight with Yao.
Yeah, a bit of a bad trade there. I mean, that's not a fight Yao's going to win.
Oh, he drops a sentry. Is Yao going to run into it?
Ooh,
I
very
think he sees
close.
that the sentry was dropped.
Yep.
And Rabbit getting the rune.
Nope. Misery. Gonna speed away. So
man, had that happened, had Rabbit been there 2 seconds before, that would have been a kill. So very fortunate for the CM right there.
Well, it's been a very quiet early game. A little bit of rotation.
That's what happens when there's a Medusa and this free farming alchemist. Oh, Medusa, the 6-minute Midas. That's very respectable. But I mean, Yao kind of just gave it to him by dying early. But still, pretty respectable form by Black. This is much different from game 1.
And that's, I'm actually surprised LGD is letting this go on as long as it is. Phase boots are up on Zhao 8. There's a Midas on Brax as well. So going to be double Midas, and looks like it's going to be a test of old school versus new school. I don't know that LGD China is going to want to build the mass Midas strat again, but International certainly going to give it a shot.
Yep, they can punish them for it, though, with that 5-man, with the black hole. And the time is not yet coming. It is pretty soon, though.
About 1,200 gold out for DD for his mechanism. We see 3 now gathered at bottom for International. They want to try and get a kill. Yao still hanging around. Do they have sentries? I'm going to imagine they would. Nope, they've got dust, though, so they want to take a shot they can. And this bounty hunter should be level 6 by now. No, he's actually still searching for 6, so a little bit slow out the gate, 7.5 minutes in. And he gave up that death, but he was actually 5.5 a couple of minutes ago, so really losing out due to his roaming ways.
Mm-hmm. Rabbit going for Belt of Giant Strength as well as Gloves of Haste. So treads on him. Alchemist doesn't look like a Midas build out for any of LGD China. Is it going to pay out for them? I don't know. They have to keep up pressure very soon, though. They're getting a lot out of their Midas. Brax is level 8.5 right now. Black is also level 8. And they're overtaking them in levels right now. Rabbit, the only one who's level 8. And we see Pycat get stunned out on top. This looks to be an easy kill.
Yep. Pycat tracked down. And DDC eats a Nova. Not nearly enough to be a return kill, though, as we see Misery playing at a distance. So very effective dive coming out of LGD. They lead the game 2-1. They're going to look to do something here. Brack spotted by Yao. Yao still finally did hit level 6. I was going to say, didn't know if he was still level 5 or not, but finally beginning to see this laning phase break down. But Black's just like, no, it's fine. I'll sit here and I'll kill things. I will just kill creeps. That's what I do.
He has power treads already too, so he's looking very good in terms of farm right now. Net worth, he should be pretty well ahead of Rabbit. Rabbit doing 4,000 gold though, so pretty much just a Midas setting them apart right now with that extra 190 gold instantaneous. They're trying to take down this tower. Glyph is already down. Xiao 8 trying to tank. They have I don't know, this is really risky for them. 3v2. They need some more backup. Yao looks like he's going from behind, but this push has been stalled at least for one more wave. DD needs more Eidolons. It's still 20 seconds on cooldown, and we see Rabbit rotate, so this is going to be a really big fight for them. And we see Track come online for the first time too. And Misery at 400 HP, he's looking.
Yep, everyone's going to go for it. There's the fissure. And are they going to try to initiate? Wow, the Gale way off the mark. DDC just wasted that one. There's a Malefice, and now Rabbit trying to track them down. That's a 1-0. They do take the tower in the meantime. Zhao 8 and DD. Oh, nice fissure. Caught 2 of them. Are they going to? Nope. I was going to say, are they going to be able to?
Where was Radiant's Courier? I have no idea where that thing just died.
Me either. I was kind of bouncing around too, trying to figure out exactly what happened. But nonetheless, another win going the way of LGD. They now lead 3-1. And, of course, taking down International's Courier is certainly going to slow down some progression on the side of International.
Yeah, and that's just exactly what they needed. They had to make something happen. They know, though. LGD's experienced enough team. They know, okay, well, the other team got Midas, so we have to punish them for it. We have to take out their T1s. We have to put some pressure around the map. They didn't even use Black Hole. He's farming a little bit. He's very, very close to his mech right now. He's just 30 gold. Once that happens, we can expect some more pressure coming out. Mid T1 or bottom T1 first. I'd probably just say mid. It's a little bit closer to them right now. Alchemist still trying to catch up and farm right now. His net worth is actually pretty paltry compared to Medusa's 5,400 as opposed to 4,700. That's with one tower and with a courier kill too.
Smoke potential and up. They're just going to throw the fissure out. Rabbit's there, going to be forced out. Midas used by Brax, and looks like they want to put some pressure on. Maybe try to break this down a bit more. Rabbit taking a little bit of harass. Does have his bottle. Does have time lapse and the such so far. Black just doing his thing. 84 last hits. He has 84 CS, the majority of which, vast majority of which have been lane CS. And it's just 11 minutes.
We have Shadow Blade on Alchemist. We also have the mech up on Enigma. This is LGD Shine. This is when they want to start making things happen. LGD trying to put the pressure on LGD China, or trying to put the pressure on China with the smoke. Yao gets dusted up. He is
super dead. Super dead. That's going to be a kill going to Medusa that time as well, however. He get very dirty very quickly. Zhao 8, as you mentioned, with that Shadow Blade up. Mechanism now done on Enigma. They're going to try to push off of this. Obviously no Blink Dagger yet done on DD. So have to waddle in to do it, but Zhao 8 doesn't have to waddle. He can rush in, and he's going to go ahead and spin it on Pycat. Half his health gone just like that. There's the Eidolons and the Stone Gaze vacuuming both the heroes back. There's the mech and a nice fissure to slow down DD and trap him in. Still able to get a free kill. Here comes Rabbit, going to chase them all down. There's 4 of them there. Little right-click being done to Brax as a buy your leave. And counter initiation out of LGD, very effective. Windrunner just about to be back up, so we'll see how dedicated they are if they want to continue to dive this. At the potential of, they sure do. Here we go, unstable concoction.
They're going to find Black. Oh, no, it's not going to come off in time.
And here we go. Here's the TPN. That's going to be Pycat. They're all hiding back in the trees. There's a track on the Black Shuriken toss, absorbed by the Mana Shield. And
3-man swarm. Oh, actually 2.
And they've got him completely pinned down now. DD still has his black hole if he's able to get it off. LGD continuing.
Should have creep dragged over here.
Continuing their siege. They're going to be able to siege this very effectively with maxed out Venomancer wards and a couple of tracks. Here we go. And there's going to be a shackle. Doesn't latch. Here comes Zhao 8. There's going to be a fissure as well as a vacuum bout. And the black hole going to catch 3 of them. Beautifully shot by DD. Even manages to keep himself alive temporarily. Black, the lone still standing hero. And Rabbit, and Freedom, both still the lone, still standing heroes. Fissure slows things down, and Black able to stay alive because of it. He took a lot of damage there. Now out of mana.
Second TP out, bro. Just get out of there, man.
Unfortunately, he can't. Doesn't have, now he does. Now he has mana. So we'll see if he... No, he's going to hang, at least for the moment. 3-7. LGD manages to get a little bit of work done. And I actually didn't keep account on how many track kills were there in that fight.
I don't know. That black hole was really good by Enigma. Yep. Earthshaker was really far out of there, but he does not have his fissure. No Stone Gaze up on Enigma either, or on Medusa rather. She does have it right now, but she doesn't have enough mana. But I mean, Black, they're gonna pressure the tower right now, and he's not healed up. Oh, I guess they have the bottle for him, but it is compromising when he doesn't have that much mana for spells. He can't even shoot Mystic Snake and Stone Gaze right now.
Here we go. Tower's down to half. Black tracked out. They're going to go ahead and throw the swarm on him. Going to try to focus him down. Here comes Zhao 8 coming around the side. There's a good vacuum. Caught 3, and what a fissure! Disjointing that entire chain, that entire effort. Here comes Misery looking for blood. Can they track him down? Dust goes off. There's a shackle onto Yao on the side. In the meantime, trying to reinitiate. And, wow, they just kind of... It looked like they were ready to slow that up, but the mechanism used by Enigma just completely turned that around. LGD International kind of spread themselves too thin, and by the time DD was able to use his mech, they were ready to fight again. Echo Slam does next to nothing. They end up trading a couple. Black is still up and fighting by the skin of his teeth. And yeah, now he's going to go ahead and TP away. He will be able to make it, and I love watching that. Concoction flying off the screen.
How long has that chicken been there?
That? Where at? Oh, I see. Oh, he was hanging out there for a while, actually, when that fight started. Now they're going to track down Pycat, and a shackle buys him some time. Vacuum into the wall, plus a power shot. Damn. And Weaver now down. However, Brax comes in, tries to surge away from the Venomous Gale, but in the end, tracked down, and finally they bring that tower down. And
Midas is getting punished.
Yep. And this is what we knew could happen. This is what has been making us say this is kind of goofy, this 3 and 4 Midas strategy. This is what you do. You just you build mid-game items and draft a team that has mid-game punch, and this can happen. Take a look at the gold, and when I say this, I mean 7,500 gold deficit going the way of China and about 3,000 experience.
No death, though, on black. That is a really big deal.
Yeah.
1-0 and 3. Xiao 8 actually doesn't have any deaths. 4-0 and 7. He's been involved in every single kill. And now the Roshan opens up to them, and they don't have the mid T1 tower down. But it's not that big of a deal. They just have a much better team fight right now. They have the mech, whereas LGD that delays the mech so much. Darkseer had a really early Midas, but sitting at 1,500 gold right now, the mech's still not going to come up for a few more minutes, and they really need a mech if they want to contest this Roshan. Who has a medallion? Yeah, Venomizer has it, and he has arcane boots too, so no Midas out on him. He's those early game items. They wouldn't have enough sustainability though without the arcane boots though, especially with the constant Mystic Stake spam draining their mana.
Such a fast Roshan. Acid spray plus the medallion plus Eidolon damage. Drops very quickly.
Somebody take the Aegis.
Yeah. Deny it. There you go. Take Roshan just to deny the Aegis from the other team. DD with Black Hole back up. Landed a good one in the one time he's thrown it. And looks like LGD's not willing to take the pedal off the metal, and why would they? Black, as you mentioned, has not died, but ready to pour it on in other ways. There's a track. He has a double damage, and he's going to go for it. Pops his drum charge, and Freedom caught out their shuriken toss, half his health, and the unstable concoction. Little bit of damage left. Another good vacuum, but no follow-up. Black Hole got 2 of them. That's going to be a full channel for sure. And just like that, 3 heroes gone. They mech away what damage they did take. And LGD is in the process of just running over their international counterparts. They're going to be able to do this just about every time Black Hole is off cooldown, and many times they may not even need it. They really didn't need it there. Just made life a lot easier. Another tower drops. The Aegis still up. Time to go push somewhere else.
It's more difficult now with the T2s up, and Medusa being able to put a lot of pressure on the T1s is a problem that LGD China is going to have to face for probably the rest of the game. And he almost has, I don't know what he's going for. Is there anything on Chicken? It could be a Lincoln's. Oh, it is a Lincoln's. Lincoln's is decent here. Blocks track, though, so it's just like whatever, because he can just follow it with an unstable concoction. But Xiao 8 will have to think twice about before he casts it. So LGD China, they just have to keep the pressure up right now. They have the Aegis. They can definitely take a 5-on-5, even without Hull. Is the mech up on Darkseer yet? And where has his gold gone? Oh, he actually died again. So, yeah, he gets, 8-minute Midas, and 10 minutes later, he has 1,650 gold. That is really slow.
Yep. A lot of bad fights for Brax. He's sitting at 0-3 right now.
I don't know why he doesn't spend his unreliable gold, though. If he spent his unreliable gold, he'd have his mech right now.
And trying to hold this off, LGD International going to be engaged upon by Xiao 8. Throws out the unstable concoction on the Misery. Here comes the rest of the team. Still 100-second cooldown on DD's Black Hole, so they'll be using mostly his Eidolons.
Though. If he gets this and he gets his mech, they can turn around this fight. But I don't know if it's going to come out fast enough.
There, meching through that. And Black going to have his Lincoln's pop. Time lapse gets Weaver back out of control. And they will end up getting the tower atop, so not the best trade so far. They need to sell out on this. Brax can show up sometime in the very near future. Midnight Pulse clearing away some trees. They will go ahead and pop the...
Oh, Rabbit has a mech, or a Midas. When did he get that? I wasn't even checking his items.
Yep, hang on. Unstable Concoction actually is going to catch Misery. That's a death. Shackle Shot will not latch, and the TP from Brax does come in. Tower still outside of deny range. They're still kind of dragging this out. There's a fissure. Here comes Xiao 8 just running in. Good vacuum. And the wall to follow it up. Aegis going to be popped away, and the Stone Gaze plus Crystal Maiden's Freezing Field able to turn a fight finally in favor of LGD.int. They lose the tower.
Scale.
Yep. They lose the tower.
He has to go in there and use all his spells, though. I don't know why he didn't. They lose the tower, though.
Yep. So they end up trading a Tier 1 for a Tier 2. Not the best trade in history for LGD China, but I'm sure it's one they'll take as we look at the gold. A little bit of a dent made in the last couple of engagements, still hovering around that 5-digit territory at just 20 minutes in. Mechanism finally complete for Brax. Experience still fairly close, but in the end, like you said, taking a look, take a look at our Alchemist. He's already got, he's going to have his BKB up as soon as he respawns. That's when things are going to get really troublesome for international.
They really need BKBs. The vacuum plus fissure plus wall and all that nonsense is just a lot to deal with. And he had a lot of regen, but they just a well-executed combo just manages to pick off 2 heroes. And Yao is actually suffering Rabbit.
Yep, here we go. Little damage done, but he just finished his Lincoln's third. Midas just came out on international, by the way. And it went to the Windrunner. Pycat has one.
Count on the game lasting that long? I don't know. I guess so. With Medusa, they have pretty good turtle potential.
I didn't even notice Rabbit had grabbed one either. So 4 Midas is out for Midai. Is that the plural? For Midai on the map so far. But I mean, this game still. I mean, when you have track in play, of course.
Xiao 8 on top.
Xiao 8 caught out and are getting ready to catch out Brax, waiting on maximum. Got the damage from the Shadow Blade. Brax in some trouble. Very long stun, even with Surge. No, wow. Actually, nobody else coming to help. Thought maybe he would have someone cutting across to try and prevent the path of escape.
That's TP. He had like 6 seconds for someone's TP.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Rabbit with the DD. Doing what he can here in mid. Now, LGD China with the Bounty Hunter. They are, if you have a Bounty Hunter on a team, you always have a bit of an onus to be trying to get something out of him. So, as comfortable as I'm sure they feel, they are going to be feeling a sense of urgency. LGD International is in this unique position where they know they can dig their heels in. It's just a question of should they? Is that the most effective way to defend, or is it better to try and make things happen elsewhere on the map? So far, they have been playing very, very defensive. And here we go. Misery, nice stun. Got 2 of them. There's the Stone Gaze to try and buy some time. Fissure actually caught Joey. Good vacuum onto the other side of the Fissure. And that's going to be a very clutch kill. Nice play from Freedom, followed by Brax to bring down the Alchemist. With the Alchemist down, the punching power of this LGD squad just isn't there. They need that big meat shield up front.
They need a BKB. I don't know why they didn't wait. It was coming on the chicken, and you can see it being sent back right now. It was like right here. There was no reason to initiate at the T2 without a BKB on Enigma, without a BKB on Alchemist. They have no way to stop BKB on Enigma or on BKB hole, except I guess Stone Gaze if he manages to get it off. But yeah, they really just need to wait for the BKBs. They're overextending a little bit. Maybe if they Aegis, they can take that, but not like that.
Right now, LGD is doubling up their international counterparts. Freedom has played a really nice Shaker, to be honest. We've seen a lot of really good Earthshaker play over the last couple of days. San Sheng and ZSMJ or Z... And
DD.
Yep, DD. A fantastic one. And now Freedom. I mean, it's just really been nice to see this hero getting some love and so many talented players really
very skill-dependent hero, though. It's one of the more skill-dependent supports.
Totally agree with you. 100% agree with you. And that's what makes it fun to watch.
Right there. Is he going to get scouted out? I think Avino will hit him.
Oh, Pycat sure will. Missed with the Gale. Malefice stuns will slow him down a bit. DD's there. Doesn't have the mana for Black Hole. Nice Shackle. Caught the 2 heroes, and he's going to be able to salve up. Here comes Brax. Are they going to look to counter-initiate? They might. Nope. Thought better of it. Probably the right call. Xiao 8 sure is going to want to initiate, though. Throws out the Unstable Concoction. Hits Pycat. Every time he pops Pycat with that, so long as it's less than 3 seconds that's on the stun, usually hitting him for about half his health.
That's pretty darn scary. LGD, either farm and get your BKBs or do Roshan. Like once they get their BKBs, we see one up on Alchemist. How close is Enigma? He just needs his hammer. So just about 1,000 gold for him. They can wait for BKBs or wait for 2 BKBs or Roshan and then just take the fight. So LGD.int, they need Blink on Shaker, 1,500 gold until that. 1,600 rather. They also need more items on Medusa. She's pretty close to Medusa. She's doing very, very well though. 106 on Black's Medusa.
Xiao 8 once again leading the charge, just throwing his body against the fray, and happy to do so, using the acid spray to help zone them out. Here comes the Midnight Pulse to tear down the trees. Track on to Brax, and Rabbit has yet to build any right click, so his ability to contribute to these pushes only so good. Eventually, you think it's a sort of game where we're likely to see him build a straight Deso, but as for right now, just slow pushing this out. And Black showing up. Roche is going to respawn in 20 seconds, and LGD, neither team really has any way of seeing this. And wow, that is an extremely short. Look at this, only 1 tick. So yeah, you're talking literally like 20-some seconds is the respawn time there.
Yeah, so this is one of the earliest ones that we've seen. Venominster can drop a ward in there. Do they suspect it coming out soon? LGD moving around as a whole. They're smoking, looking for someone to pick off, looking for someone farming their own jungle? I don't know about that.
And DD, looks like he just wants his BKB. He's only about 400 gold away from it now. And thinking that's kind of a go item. They know Roche is going to be up soon. They know they want that BKB. Yep. Smoked Vino. And see
this observer reward will spot at Alchemist, though. So now they can do it pretty fast. They only see the Alchemist, though. They don't see the Bounty Hunter nor the smoked Venomancer. And I think it's going to be too late. Even if they know, they see Rabbit going there, so they definitely should know that they're doing it now. But this thing just gets melted.
Yep, so much armor reduction. And already down to half health. And yeah, they have no interest in challenging this. As you said, the Observer Ward most certainly did see it. Can even see TDC on the high ground right now. Doesn't matter. Just going to let it go. Now it's on LGD to close this game out. LGD China. Got to dig their heels in. There's that Desolator we knew we would see out of the Weaver. And they're going to go ahead and try to chase down Black. Zhao 8 thought better of it. Actually decides to pull back.
I don't know if Desolators, I guess they have a lot of minus armor. I would like to see an MKB out of them. It's really good at focusing down Windrunner, and spell damage is pretty good for Medusa because she doesn't have a BKB and she has like a fair amount of armor too. She has 18 armor right now, and she's going to get a Butterfly next. So MKB is just really good at that. I mean, he got a Butterfly last game when they already had an MKB. I'm pretty sure he'd do the same. It's the next best item for him, though. Scotty's decent too. He could go Scotty, but it's not very good versus Weaver.
This could be dangerous.
There's another option.
Invisibility Rune and BKB freshly done on DD. If they can find a couple of folks asleep at the wheel here in mid, especially if they could get a pick on
or
Black.
top.
Yeah. Pycat's there.
They ping them out. They know they're there. Xiao 8 is invis pop. No stun cast yet.
Just trying to run him down, and it looks like Pycat sniffed it out. Knows something is amiss, and yep, there you go. There's the track, 4 staff. Very quick reaction. Doesn't matter. Stun's going to be there. Just too squishy. Shuriken toss makes that a nice track kill. And Brax playing more Rat Dota. Just cannot catch up with him. In the meantime, LGD says, that's fine. We'll just farm our own jungle. Well, we're sorry. We didn't mean to step on your property.
So gold difference is actually not that big. I mean, we see 2 towers. LGD has taken down 2 towers. LGD China's taken down 4. And LG China's also taking out 2 Roshians. So we're talking about 2 tower, 2 Roshian difference. That's roughly, what, 4,500 gold. And it's only 4,000 through kills and through farm. That's not that significant.
Yep. LGD now beginning to collapse onto mid. We see the Misery doing his patented Crystal Maiden split push, as we've seen a couple of times. LGD ready to rush down this Tier 2. And let's see how dead. Black's going to be careful. He's way far forward. There's the Lincoln's popped. And was wondering if they're going to engage off that. Here comes DD. Gets the Malefice off. Can they follow it up? And yes, they can. There's a Black hole. It's just going to be spent on nothing but Black. A vacuum into the wall. Still not enough to turn that around. Black does end up dropping. The damage output is just too high. The tankiness on Zhao 8 in particular, way too high as they just walk through the wall and then mech away the damage.
Where's your Stone Gaze? Why did he not use Stone Gaze? I don't think he was stunned from 100 to 0.
Yep.
And he definitely was not stunned before he got Black Hold. So, yeah, gotta pop your Stone Gaze, man. It was a good Black Hole, though. He knew that he hadn't popped it, and they know that they have no way to stop it if he does not Stone Gaze. So, BKB Black Hole, take him down, force a buyback. Things are looking very, very good for LGD China right now. Gold dips even more in favor of LGD China, and the biggest part is that they have limited Zeus's farm. Her net worth is now below the Weavers.
Black leading the charge on this smoke gang, trying to find someone. DDC, one of the closer targets. We see Zhao 8 cleaning up the Ancients. They're going to be able to wrap around. And
it's a very smart smoking. LGD China's prepared, though. They know they don't have BKBs. They know they don't have Black Hole either. So they should absolutely not take a fight. At least wait until their BKBs are up. 13 seconds on Enigma, 13 seconds on Xiao 8. And Rabbit doesn't need it because he has Aegis the Immortal. He does need to use his Midas, though. Use that. Get that cha-ching. Bling, bling. Yeah.
Here we go. And Lincoln going to be popped again. There's the track that goes off immediately afterwards. Bringing down the tower, or trying to anyway. There's a nicely timed glyph. They should be able to deny this out. Medusa going to send in the illusions. And nice deny. Very well timed by the Enigma.
They actually don't have vision, though. Manta dispelled it, so if they had vision, they would definitely keep chasing down. Oh, they might actually find X Freedom. X Freedom. Ooh. Scary.
He's scary. He's going to head back to top. 8-18. In a 30-minute game so far, the gold is beginning to feel a little bit more out of hand, and I think we saw that in that last Tier 2 engagement. Granted, they did manage to bring down Medusa right off the bat, but you know, even even after a very well-placed vacuum wall coming off of Brax, they just never really felt like they were in danger. A lot of times that has to do with just the little items that are up, or the fact that you have an experience gain, or the fact that, you're just playing a tanky-ass team that has an Alchemist.
Wow, Venomancer almost has a Scepter. And this is without Midas, mind you. So this is going to be huge amounts of damage and absolutely zero BKBs on the side of LGD. And they are just going to get hurt so heavily by this. I think he needs like a 4-staff so he can run in and do it. But that should come pretty quickly.
Double damage room picked up by Yao, likely to start poking his nose around.
Are they going to find Brax here?
They might find
7 seconds until his TP's up.
They're poking around. There is a very defenseless Black right on the other side of the chasm there. Looks like they're much more interested in what's going on at top. Brax continues to hang around. And at the same time, Black's going to go ahead and exit. So looking to potentially push this top tower as a 3-man, as a 4-man. This could be disastrous, though. This is a full 5-man engagement.
If they kill Medusa, though, it's very close to GG.
Let's see. They're going to have to do it very soon. Enigma's Black Hole is ready to go. Has yet to use his BKB.
They gotta watch Shackle though. Xiao really has to watch his positioning, make sure he doesn't get shackled to Rabbit or someone else who's beating on the tower behind him. Constantly using Trek to break the Lincolns, very smart. And now they have complete vision of the Medusa as well as other heroes. So they see freedom right now. They know they're given enough. They can just zerg it down, even through backdoor protection.
Down it goes. Last outer tier tower remaining. And the Aegis going to be reclaimed just in the nick of time if you're LGD International. Certainly didn't want to have to deal with a push through involving an Aegis, but again, that gold deficit just continues to get higher and higher and higher. And now with access to their jungle and even to their top lane so severely limited, if LGD decides to just run a strangulation game, it's not a whole lot that I think International is going to be able to do about it.
They can turtle up to T3, and they have Earthshaker Fissure, they have Vacuum Wall, they have Stone Gaze if he actually casts it, and they can defend pretty wholeheartedly. And like looking at the gold difference, this is the same thing we kind of saw in the Rising Stars versus Rattlesnake game. Like a 14,000 gold deficit versus Medusa is not as big as it seems, and Medusa just scales incredibly well with items, so you can like kind of like maybe like add like 30% of her net worth to consider how actually effective she is with items right now. And it's going to be pretty difficult for them to siege up this hill, maybe with the Aegis cheese, and they're certainly going to wait for that before, because LGD is a very safe team. So we're looking at 1 to 4 minutes until Roshan spawns.
Yep, something like that. Let's see. Yep, about 1 minute. So yeah, somewhere between 2 minutes and 4 minutes, give or take. Weaver manages to finish an MKB. That's troublesome. This Weaver is hitting very hard now, hitting for 200.
Yeah, he's still try toggling 32 minutes. That's some dedication.
Yep. And definitely ready to blow a face up if he happens to have access to said face. BKB will come out for Yao as well. And as the BKBs all showing up, I'm actually a little surprised that Weaver didn't get one. Opting for Lincolns instead. But
one. Like Earthshaker doesn't have blink, and only thing is if he gets hit by Shackle, then it's a pretty big deal for him. But Vacuum Wall, you just time lapse out. Just watch his positioning a little bit, and he should be okay. Shackle, if he hits on him too, it's just gonna be Lincoln's. Actually, does he have a Lincoln? Yeah, he has Lincoln. Yep. So Fissure will be blocked off too. So just don't get caught by Shackle, and he should be good. And he will have the Aegis too. So it's just like whatever. He needs more damage though. They definitely need more damage. If they can kill the Windrunner in like 4 or 5 hits, if they can burst down a Darkseer in a small Enigma Sun or an Unstable Concoction, then they can win the fight from there. I think going damage is the right idea.
We see LGD, China storming the Radiant side jungle, ready to take control. Pycat looks like the closest industrious one to take a peek. Throws out a power shot into the camp, and Zhao 8 takes a look, then turns back around. So this is exactly what I was talking about, though. This is, if you want to starve a team out, if you want to take a slow win, take away their jungle, try to limit their farm, make them run as 5 to limit their experience gain. That's exactly what LGD is doing very well.
Scythe number 1 on Darkseer, but no buyback. And he's a pretty high priority target. Brax doesn't usually get cut out that much, so I'm not terribly worried about that. Looks like Roshan is going to respawn in just like 5 seconds time. So, yep. Oh, there it goes. Actually, a little bit early. I was looking at the timer, and it was definitely not when it hit red. And they know. The Vino ward, being able to scout it out. Vino is also really useful for that. TA trap, pretty useful. Brood webs, visit familiars, all of those really excellent at scouting out Roshan during that random 8 to 11 minute respawn timer.
Right now, International, very much on the defensive, playing back as 5. Roche should be taken down pretty damn quick. especially with the MKB and the Dessa. Just look at this. This is a 35-minute Roche, and it is melting faster than a level 1 jungle creep would.
That was without Medallion and without anti-spray too.
Fallen to the dire.
Aegis picked up by Weaver. Saw the cheese picked up by Zhao 8. I like that decision. Weaver at this point just hits so hard. Makes the Zhao 8 kind of look like he's throwing tissues.
Zhao doesn't actually have that much HP. Like usually we see Alchemist like super beefy, but with the ultimate change and with no armlet build, he is still somewhat fragile. Looking at Echo and Earthshaker, no buyback or no blink on him. They really need blink on him. If he dies, doesn't matter as long as he gets the damage out. But I don't think he's going to be able to get the damage out with.
Here we go, Force Staff up, and they're going to frostbite him from the tower. And Black's going to go ahead, come in off the side of the device. Good vacuum. They're going to get him for free. Wow. Very well chained together.
That was disgustingly well coordinated.
Yeah.
DD, what? DD's creeping neutrals. Where's the blink BKB black hole to save your comrade?
Yep. Looks. I mean, at this point, LGD that seemed like a very lazy push, and you hate to put it that way, but like you said, they weren't even on the same page remotely, and really, it was.
Oh, there's a arc on Medusa. This game is completely changed once Rapier comes out on Medusa.
Yep. And we'll see. I mean, Black at this point still very susceptible to LGD. I mean, you know, she's got 20 armor, and that's all well and good, but the amount of armor reduction LGD International or LGD China has is huge.
If he gets a Stone Gaze off before the Black Hole, then they can survive. If he doesn't get it off and he gets Black Hole through a Blink BKB, they just all 5-man on him, pick up the Rapier, and then it should be over from there, especially with the Aegis on Weaver. Destructor Treads or Midas, and just take it from there. So Rapier is risky, but I think it's the right choice for LGD right now. They are very far behind. They need to stay in the game a little bit longer. They need to delay until the Aegis is down. Looks like I mean it's going to be 4 minutes time, but that was the really good time to push before he gets Rapier, and they force a buyback on him. Rapier is even more delayed, and they probably take a Rax if they end up killing the Medusa. Oh, there's a Rapier. It's completed.
We can see some Joey and Barcode and Zach's at Where's Presence has won due to seeing a second Rapier of the night, man. You and I got to see 2 Divine Rapiers come out on 2 different Medusas played by 2 different players on 2 different teams. How cool is that?
I wish I could sound excited about seeing Medusa played, but 37 minutes, 27 kills, not my cup of tea. But gotta do what you gotta do to win. But yeah, net worth is a little bit below Weaver's, but in terms of like damage output per team fight, Medusa is just so much damage that they can't really deal with right now because they have BKBs but no Ghost Scepters. So as long as Medusa doesn't get locked down with a BKB Black Hole, and now that he has a blink, it's really on Black. Like Black cannot be cut out of position. If he's caught out of position, blink, Black Hole, GG. So he just can't let that happen. His team can't really save him from it either, like unless he has like a ninja fast sheep or something, or he doesn't BKB until after he blinks, or just something random like that. Then they shouldn't be able to execute it. But LGD, I mean, DD has been playing pretty well this game. 2-1 and 12 on him. Good farm.
Taking a look at the graphs, we haven't done that in a while. LGD China has just been slowly grinding a huge lead. They're up to about 20,000 gold right now, and again, the last real hope for LGD International is in the form of that Rapier on Black's Medusa. The experience is becoming an issue, too. If you actually take a look at the hero levels, we were sitting at 21, then 20 on Medusa, 17 on Brax. Then after that, you've got very low levels on Misery and on the Earthshaker, so their contribution is going to be limited. Not even level 2 ulti in a 40-minute game for Freedom at the moment. That's a problem.
It is a problem indeed. So I guess that even if he has Blink, it's not that big of a deal. He doesn't even have max Aftershock. And this is the thing with Earthshaker. Once you fall behind and you can't get your Arcane boots, then you really start to fall behind. He is really close to his Echo or his Blink, though. Just sell your Soul Ring, get it, and then you can catch LGD China by surprise and maybe make them waste an Aegis. So game still pretty close. 20,000 gold lead means nothing when they have a Medusa with a Rapier.
Yep. That's kind of what makes it fun. It's taken us a while to get here. It's like taking a long car trip when you were a kid. Your parents would load you into the car for like a long vacation, and it's just like the most miserable car ride. But it was all worth it when you got there, and it was like Disney World or wherever you wanted to go.
I don't know. I'm not. I mean, he got a Rapier, but it's still like they have to protect it, so it's still like very, very passive. And LGD try and break the base, but LGD can't make a move for like so long, right? Like Roshan is going to respawn in like maybe 4 minutes time, but they can't make a move for it. They can't just like 5-man over there and let their towers get pushed down. They're just forced to 5-man constantly right now, and they can't really do anything besides just sitting in their base up the hill. And I mean, as much as I like some Dota games, this one is this is Medusa in a nutshell. Turtle until later, get your items, and turtle some more.
Rabbit finishing up his heart. Guy is legit, as we can see. Swinging fast, swinging hard, and hitting hard. Very tough to bring down, even in the best of circumstances. And these are not going to be the best of circumstances for LGD. Freedom, still level 9, and unable to really do a whole lot of much. We're rolling past 40 minutes now. BKB up on the Enigma. He's got 3,000 gold in the bank. He can spend on whatever he wants. This is becoming that point where buybacks are going to matter a lot. And Weaver... Yep. Speaking of sheep, Windrunner did complete hers. So Pycat will have a hex stick ready to try and lock Rabbit down. And really, a lot of it's going to come down to how well she can wield that thing. I mean, she's only got it once to use. Who do you use it on? Do you try to use it on the Alchemist? You grab the Weaver when you can? Alchemist actually just picked up a Heaven's Halberd. Such a smart buy.
Yeah, I think he uses it. It depends on who's just out of position. If we see like Xiao 8 be caught on the wrong side of the fissure due to a vacuum, Sheep can kill him. If Enigma decides to run in without BKB, kill him. If Weaver decides to overextend because he doesn't have a BKB, kill him too. So it's all very situational from Bounty Hunter or whatever. Not a very high priority target. But the biggest thing is they can actually punish the split push from LGD China right now with the Sheep, Blink Sheep, and follow up with a couple of stuns, and you can kill him, BKB or not. And that's a really big deal. And Enigma needs that item so he can do the same thing to them.
Very much a quiet late game we're setting ourselves up for. Would have expected LGD to have decided to get together and try to throw a Rax party down mid lane. Not the case so far. We even saw LGD wanted to smoke a bit, but Surgeon General warned him off of it. Decided not to move out too far. And Scythe of Ice actually to pick up on the Enigma, so now he's got a Hex of his own. Very nice.
Yep, just watching, waiting for something to happen. LGD is not going to make a move without the Aegis, though. So just going to wait for that. Looking at the Roshan timer, that is what my eyes are on, because that's the only thing that's going to die of significance in the next 5 minutes, it seems.
Hey, man, games like this, slow as they are, tired as I am, nothing like the international game, Tong Fu Fnatic. I will never forget it. Longest game in Dota history. That I had the pleasure of commentating. Actually, I mean, it's fun to be a part of it.
This could be longer. You never know.
I would have to go see how long was that game. It was 109 minutes, something. Or no, maybe that sounds way too high. I don't know. 89 minutes, I think. Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, I'd have to go. Basically, it would have to go more than double. We would have to do this game all over again for it to reach the status.
Yay! You don't sound excited.
Well, I don't have a live crowd that's trolling. That is getting excited anytime they de-ward because nothing else has been killed except for creeps in the meantime.
So Roshan 8-minute timer is up. Let's check out when it spawns next.
Very soon.
And another 50-second Roshan. So I guess that's good for LGD that they can do it right now. But I mean, are they gonna make a move with it? Who knows? Beats me. Like that. It's really when they want to push. Like, do they want like an Abyssal on Xiao? Do they want to wait for Medusa to max out? As long as they control her from getting the Aegises, though, it's they're actually making a move outside of their base. If they get the Aegis right now, the game is LGD.int's to take. But as long as LGD China controls the Roshan pit, LGD is kind of forced to just chill back on the back foot and wait for them to make a blunder and push inside the base. Now, Blink Dagger is up on Earthshaker. I don't know if they know that.
Scotty going to be the choice for Black. Was hoping for a second Rapier because then at least that would be fun to watch. But we get really cool particle effects if nothing else. Roche back up. They know what's up. Enigma hanging back. And here they come. They're smoked up.
This is a big fight coming up. Oh my god, action.
So, thank goodness. Black.
DD doesn't have buyback. That's really big. He's slightly out of position right now. If he gets caught, his team loses the fight.
Blink Dagger on cooldown for 8 seconds. Taking a look at the buyback chart, like you said. None for him. And there's a power shot kind of giving things away. And they're going to catch Xiao 8. Force Staff gets it back up. There's the Stone Gaze. Black Hole, though, caught all three behind him. Freedom could not do anything about it. They're going to try to reinitiate off of the good vacuums there. Now down goes the wall. And LGD fighting uphill. LGD China fighting downhill. 2 for 1, the exchange. It was a nice black hole, but no way the rest of his team could get back behind Black and company to actually do the damage.
Right now?
There it is.
Go.
There it is. Rapier picked up by Yao. So the bounty hunter hitting, you could say he's hitting hard, 450 damage. Oh, please track down this Windrunner. Please track down this Windrunner. I want to see a Janata with a Rapier in your hand. No, not going to matter. That'll be your GG, most likely. If not in practice, then at least in essence.
Not a great black hole. It wasn't like a bad one, but it wasn't a great one because they didn't get Medusa. And his team wasn't really prepared for it. But still, they killed Dusa. I don't really know what Black was doing like all the way over here. But regardless, Earthshaker not level 10. Oh, it looks like they're just trying to end the game right now. Dusa has 940 gold. She just bought her Scotty. No buyback. This just could be GG without the Roshan. I thought they would just take Roshan, get the Aegis on Yao, get the cheese, and then, that would take like an extra 15 seconds maybe. But looks like they just want the Rex. Go for the gold. They know Dusa doesn't have buyback right now because she would have already bought back right then.
Yao hanging out in the back, not willing to take any chances. Throws out a track. Not about to give that Rapier away. Doesn't need to. We can see the damage being done by the Weaver. Look at this misery. Just about 2 or 3 shotted there. So there goes 1 Rax. Now they're going to rotate down to the tier 3 bottom. Here comes the rest of LGD. Ready to follow this up. Brax adds a Blink Dagger to his inventory. Shackle doesn't latch. That was a nice attempt for Pycap, but in the end, not going to matter. And Freedom trying to do something there, unable to do so. Brax meching through a lot of the damage. BKB comes up, though. And in the meantime, there it is. So, in our only series of the night, to only go 2 games, LGD International loses 0-2 to their Chinese counterparts and finds themselves in a bit of a pickle as they are now winless through 4 series in the Eastern Division of the D2L. LGD China, 1 series away, just 1 series away now from running the table in our Eastern Chinese division. If they can go 7-0, there is no other team who has yet to lose a game. So every other team is lost. If they win their next series, we'll know immediately that they're auto-qualified straight to Las Vegas, and then we'll just be sorting through the rest of the bracket in search of our second team, of course, that'll go through our bubble race playoffs coming up in December. And it's been a fun night, Merlini. It's been a different night. I mean, obviously 6.79 is very volatile, but a lot more long games tonight than you and I have had in a long time.
The Midas, though, they don't want to force the issue so early. They want it to buy time for it to kick in, but teams really knowing how to take advantage of it right now, especially LGD China. Just mech up, Shadow Blade, boom, time to fight, tower, Roshan, and then they're too far behind. Midas doesn't really matter. So, it takes a fair amount of coordination. I think Midas is good versus uncoordinated teams that can't make things happen, but top tier teams like LG China will punish you and punish you hard.
Couldn't agree with you more. And it's you have to feel bad for Black. My heart literally broke whenever you see him drop that Rapier, because he worked all game to get to that point. He gets the Rapier, has 1 fight, and see you later. But well played by LGD. And again, a lot on the line for both of these teams. LGD International, long road to go, and they're going to need a lot of help if they want to have any shot at making it into the playoff picture. LGD China, 1 more series, all they have to play in order to guarantee themselves an auto-qualified spot straight to Las Vegas. Again, our grand finals coming up at CES at Caesars Palace this January. I'm AC, that's Merlini. And getting ready to do our sign-offs. It was 46-14, 46 minutes, 14 seconds, the official game time, 11-24, the final kill score. Now I'll say my name, because that's my verbal cue to producer Conrad. I'm your host there in AC Chambers. And there we go. See, that's how it is. But thanks again, guys, for being a part of the broadcast. And, of course, to you, Merlini. Always a blast commentating with you. And I just hate that we only get to do it 2 days a week. But the fun thing is that coming up with the Western Division, not to say we're looking past the East already. I mean, the East still has a lot of amazing series to go. But once the West starts, you and I will be at this 5 days a week.
Yeah, more Dota action. It's going to be fun. And I hope it changes from Dusa games and Midas games. Although some of them are excited with this one, I must say was just not exciting. As sorry as I am to say, but LGD versus, they're bringing out some somewhat cool stuff, 4 Midases. I think they just need maybe just experiment with different heroes. I think they really excel at like roaming, getting early game control, and putting Brax on a big like playmaker hero.
Agreed.
And stuff like that. But in like Black maybe on anti-mage or something like that, maybe like a lifesteal or gyro. I think they can contribute a little bit more early, but they're seeming to shy away from that, going for these really just like long shot strategies, right? Hey, let's just turtle for 45 minutes and then get a Medusa Rapier and hope we win, right? That's a kind of a long shot. Or like, hey, we have a Furion who's going to backdoor with Necrobook and be annoying, but is it actually going to win games? It's kind of like, I mean, I do encourage people to try new stuff, but this is it's lacking, right? It's only one hero things. Where's the 5 hero cool stuff? Where's the wombo combos?
It's a little ridiculous, is what you're saying. I'll tell you what, before we do our sign-offs, can we get the Twitter addresses here? Yeah, I can see it. Awesome, guys. Got to pull it up. He's doing it by special request. Anyway, guys, I will go ahead and say that, yeah, there we go. Follow us both. You can find me. I'm at AC. God, I'm always backwards. That's me, at AC, and then Merlini, of course, right there. And we'll let Merlini plug himself in a minute. Once again, I want to thank each and every one of you, and to remind you, we still have 2 more weekends, if I'm not mistaken, at least 2 more, maybe more, of Eastern Division play ahead of us leading up to Thanksgiving. We'll be taking a 2-week break and bouncing back with Western Divisional play, looking ahead to the rest of the time. Actually, we got Western Divisional play kicking off before that. I am so tired. I have slept 2 hours.
Yeah, like no breaks. These games were ridiculously long today, but it was a fun-filled, exciting day of Dota.
No, it was. I had someone fly in. The girlfriend flew in and moved, in the process of moving, so I got no sleep.
Down in your commitment to Dota.
Oh, shush. My heart's big enough for everything. It's big enough for you, Ben. We love you, and I certainly love Conrad and everyone else, and love all the viewers. I know our European friends. It's early in the morning there. I think it's like 4 a.m. here. That would make it. That's actually coming up on the afternoon. But anyway, I am just mumbling and babbling. Merlini, tell them where they can find more about you so I can shut up and go to bed.
Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the same, /Merlini Dota, as well as twitch.tv/Merlini Dota, my own personal stream. Thanks, ASA, and thanks to all the viewers for staying tuned to this exciting day of Dota from Kingston HyperX D2L.
That's the man, and you got it. The HyperX D2L Season 4. Our broadcast for this week signing off. Thank you again, Ben, and we'll see you back next weekend. You take it easy, all right?
You too.
Been a D2L production in conjunction with Kingston HyperX. Razor, I forgot them at one time, so I just looked down the mouse pad from now on. Astro headsets, Monster Energy, and I swear to you, this is delicious. You need to go drink Rehab. This is Monster Energy. The green Rehab, the green tea. I'm not going to lie. There's one flavor that we have I don't like. This is the one that's awesome. But make sure you check them out. And make sure you're back next week. We'll be back on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 3 a.m. if you happen to be in Central Europe, and, of course, 9 a.m. for our Chinese brothers and sisters. Until then, guys, enjoy your day and enjoy some Dota.